My name is Ugochukwu Obunaya for Impact in God's Kingdom.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Trust you are doing well. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. Just confirm. How was your day today? All right. How's your day? How's your day going? How's everything? I hope you had a great day. Tomorrow is Friday. We're excited. Start of the weekend. Sure. I am. Yeah, it's good to see you again, Adiola. For like I said, she can't hear me. Okay, others can hear me, so it might be from your end. Okay, I'm glad that day went well. I'm glad that day went well. So yes, so we taught the last class. Who can remind me what he spoke to us about and what we gained from the session? So what was the class about? Before we dive into today's one. before we dive into today's topic, I'd like to just hear from us what we gained from the last session. If you don't talk, I have questions. Oh. Okay. Someone said types of traffic. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Content marketing, overviews, paid and organic traffic. Interesting. What was the topic? We spoke about, thank you very much. Oh, we spoke about digital marketing channels. Yes. Oh, you learned about the two types of traffic, paid traffic and organic traffic. So tell me, Amara, what's the difference between paid traffic and organic traffic? Different charges. This one, almost all of you are mentioning traffic. That's interesting. So it means I can give like a quick quiz on um, channels and you guys do very well. So paid versus organic traffic. Okay, you don't mention paid as okay. SCM is paid. Yes. Paid traffic, traffic you paid for. Organic traffic, the traffic you work for is given. Yes, thank you very much, Amara. That's really nice. You can also call it traffic you earn. Yeah. I know that there are all types of digital marketing channels. Spoke about channels. SEO. So apart from traffic, paid and organic traffic, what else did you speak about? Okay, content marketing. Thank you, Abraham. What else? I think content marketing still circles around like the old traffic thing. So what else did we talk about? Yeah, SEO. SEO is part of organic traffic. Yeah, I'm still looking for more. Okay, email marketing. Yes, that's something different. That's nice. Thank you, crediting. Thank you, Esther. Yes, thank you very much. So now that you know about channels, we're going to be diving into something more interesting today. Even interesting. Okay, influencer marketing, video marketing. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Affiliate marketing. Yes, that's nice. Thank you. So today we're going to be diving into something really interesting. We're going to be talking about the target audience and our personas. So before I first, okay, difference between organization and digital marketing. Thank you. I think we covered part of that in the first class together. So now, before I dive forward, let me see if like there's knowledge, like there's some surface knowledge here on what the target audience and or persona is. So when you talk about your target audience, what am I talking about? What are we talking about in your target audience? What are we talking about in your target audience? So, so let's talk about like understanding your audience today. I want us to talk about understanding your audience. How you can know, okay, so target audience are customers. Um, thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Abibola. The people you want your product to attract. Exactly. Thank you very much. Clement, people you wish to reach. That's good. David, your specific market. Thank you. Um, Esther, the people you want to sell your products to. First of all, the people that the goods or services is meant to serve. I think I really like that. Yes. Rosemary, age bracket or income bracket of the people who are your end users. Yeah, you're also right. Target audience are people you want to sell your product to. These are people that need the product you're offering. I love our responses. Yes. I feel like you all know this already. Like, is there anything to continue? But yeah, I love our response. I love the fact that we're getting it. So let's move on. So today we're trying to understand the target audience, and you've all spoken about like what target audience means basically. People that we're trying to target, people that we're trying to like, okay, we want our product to reach. And it's very important. And we're going to dive into why it's very important. We're going to dive into how to know who your target audience is and the likes. Yeah. So why does the target audience matter? Why does it matter? So let's think of it this way. If you were to bake a cake, you need to know who you are baking it for. Am I right? You need to know like, okay, are they chocolate lovers? Do they have any allergies? So you have to know like all these things to know who you are baking this cake for. To know that okay, these are people that are selling your cake to, these people you are giving this cake to. And once you have this information, once you have all these things, knowing your audience would help you understand, help you to create something that they will truly enjoy. So if you create a cake for me and I don't like chocolate, I bring chocolate cake for you. Who knows, maybe I'm allergic to chocolate cake. You have probably almost killed me. You've not even given me something that I enjoy. But if you're like, okay, yes, your facilitator does not like chocolate, likes was what strawberry or something else that they had in the cake. So you already know that okay, this is how it's going to be. Yeah. So understanding this is very, very, very important. No audience, no impact. You can't sell to everyone. A focused audience. So, like, if your audience is focused, it's going to use like a very, very high ROI. If you don't know, oh, sorry, in case you don't know, do you know what ROI is? So, for context, ROI means return on interest. And when you're talking about return of interest, talking about like, okay, the money you invested into something, what is the profit of it? What is the returns you are making on it? Okay, you spent 500 naira or 500,000 naira on an ad. How much are you getting from ad? How many from that particular ad? How many sales are you making? You spent this particular amount on marketing or content. What is your return on? So not return on interest, return on investment. So ROI means return on investment. So like I said, so you can't sell to everyone. And if you don't know who you are talking to, the message is likely going to fall flat. And this is a very core principle in marketing. If you are trying to appeal to absolutely everyone, the results are going to get diluted like in messaging that don't resonate with anyone strongly. So you are you are trying to target every single thing. You are saying the same thing. So the way you speak to, let me break it down this way. The way you would speak to me is different from the way you would speak to a child, same from the way you speak to someone that's above 100. Yes, with generation, we have the millennial generations, we have the baby boomers, we have the Gen Z. You guys should list some of the generations we have. So we have Gen Alpha, if I'm correct, we have Gen Zs. And let me know which one you fall, which category you fall under. Let's even know. So we have the Gen Z, we have the, yeah, I already corrected you that it's return on investment. We have the Gen Z, we have the millennials, and we also have the baby boomers. So the way you speak to someone in the Gen Z age, especially like probably early in the Gen Z age, is different from someone you speak the same way you speak to someone that is late in the millennial stage. They are totally different things. Yes, so I mean we all know and we're going to even get there. We all know that different kind of channels appeal to these different kind of generations. Yes, I can say like a lot of Gen Zs are here and like they are happy everything. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, you have to know that like but if you know that this is a target, this is a specific group that you're targeting, this is a specific group you're targeting, you'll be able to speak to them in a way that will resonate with them. So you will not be speaking to them in a way that they are going to just doze off. I mean, you meet someone that's not a Gen Z and you come and start speaking Gen Z slangs or the Gen Z buzzwords of today. If you have some of those words, you can tell me. And maybe the person is your parents or someone that is in like a baby boomer age range. The person is going to be totally lost. He's not going to understand, or she's not going to understand what you are saying. So you have to be able to understand, like, okay, people are different, and the messages can get ignored if you are not talking directly to them. If the messaging or what you are doing Let's be strong. You mentioned email marketing a lot. Email marketing is one of the best ways you can actually personalize messages to your audience. If somebody is sending you an email, I'm sure some of us, let's talk about some emails that we've seen that we probably don't like. And we're like, is this for me? I think off the top of my head, I don't know if a lot of them have changed now, but banks to send emails and like you're ignoring it because this is not what I'm here for. So, but you see some other brands will send you an email and they'll talk to you like in the slang that you're comfortable with. Probably something interesting just happened and they're like all over it using the trend. Or maybe I think there was a time they did Achalugo was trending and a lot of newsletters were coming and Achalugo was like somewhere embedded in the message. So yeah, things like that, knowing your audience helps you understand like okay, this is people that you are sending this message to, this is people that you are trying to speak with. I hope you are following. So, like I said, you can't sell to everyone. So, who are you really talking to? Let's do an exercise. Let's name a brand you love. Just I think we mentioned a lot of brands the first day. So, if you remember the brand you mentioned the first day, just think about it. Then also type who their customers are. Who do you think their customers are? Just name any brand you like. Then follow up. I can give us some brands to you can mention. Let's say for Indomie, who do you think Indomie will be targeting? Um, Cokes. Okay, so someone said Temu, Samsung, DSTV. Okay, so who are these brands targeting? Tell me. Who is Nike targeting? Tell me. On game show, everyone. Uh, on game show is not everyone. I mean, they are not targeting me because I'm not their audience. So who are their real customers? That's the reason. So Indomie kids, yes. And I love the fact that we mentioned Indomie. Yeah, because okay, I mentioned it, so no problem. So Nike, yes. You could say sports, but yeah, sports enthusiasts. I think that's one way to say it. Arami Essential, customer target women, diapers, nursing mother. Yes, that's good. Indomie will target families with kids. Yes, I think that's the best way to put in the Indomie because at the end of the day, the kids are not the one actually purchasing the Indomie. It's the mothers that are purchasing it or the fathers. So it's targeting the whole family in essence. Yes, MTN target young and old. So thank you very much. I think that was like really interesting. So I'm getting the hang of it. So a target audience is a specific group of people a brand wants to reach with its message, products, or services. Someone said incubator of Gen Z's youth. Yes. Gen Z's youth, even millennials. Yeah. So target audience is so a target audience is like I said, it's a specific group of people a brand wants to reach with its message, products, or services. It's about identifying that particular segment of the population that is most likely to be interested in what you have to offer. So you have to identify like, okay, which particular segment, which particular group are going to be interested in what you have to offer. Is it only for people that are speaking Yoruba? Maybe they're the ones that will like this, or is it only for people in Lagos, or only for people in Abuja? You know, when you are doing Suya, you are doing Ram, or you know, is it only for during the festive periods for the Muslims and the Christians that maybe ram or chicken will be selling? So you have to understand, like, okay, who is the specific target audience for your brand? You have to know, like, okay, which specific group. You have to break it down. You cannot just say that, okay, you're targeting people, you're targeting everyone. Someone said everyone. You can't target everyone. It's not possible because everybody is different. So you have to niche it down and break it down as much as you can. So who is your ideal customer? Who is your ideal customer? So to define your target audience, you need to understand your ideal customer. And these are like the basic ones. First of all, the demographics. The demographics include your age, your gender, location. So these are like the basic and quantifiable characteristics of your audience. For example, are you targeting young adults in urban areas? Are you targeting young adults in urban areas? Are you targeting male? Are you targeting females? You have to look at the demographics. That's the first thing. Then the next thing is the psychographics. And these are like the psychological aspects of your audience, including their interests, values, and pain points. What are their hobbies? Like, what do they care about? What problems are they trying to solve? So, psychographics, the psychological aspects of your audience. You think about yourself. I think let's try something as I'm talking as I'm explaining it, just think about yourself or where let's see where you fall in that. So your demographic, what's your age range, add your age range, your gender, like no, don't put it in chat or in the comments or just for yourself. What's your location? They think about like your interests, what do you like doing, what are your hobbies, what are your values, what are your most pressing problems at the moment. Then the next thing is your behaviors. So behavior is your purchase habits, your online activities. Do you shop online or in stores? What social media platforms do you use? I think we spoke up. We did an exercise the first day on asking people what social media platforms they use the most. So you have to like understand all these things to know who your customer is. If your customer does not have a smartphone and you're saying you're doing online delivery service or something like that, then you're targeting nobody because there's no way your customer can actually access what you are offering. He doesn't have a smartphone, so he probably doesn't even shop online. He shops physically. So you have to understand like okay who your customer is so that you'll not be marketing to the wrong set of people. You are marketing the right set of people, but the way for them to actually access your product, it's not even possible at all because of their behavior. So those are the things that you have to look out for. Temu knows the kind of people it targets. If you talk about like Temu's ad, a lot of their ads come with the specific products because they know that it's the products that people are buying. And if you, Precious, or Thomas, or Honeyberry, or Tim Topper sees a product that they like, yeah, they are going to want to click on like that product, go to them and order it. So that is how you would know who that is why you need to know who your ideal customer is. And these are the things that come in place when looking at your ideal customer. So one example now we have Nike. So was Nike target? Runners mostly. The demographics, like we mentioned, 18 to 35. People that stay in urban areas, they are fitness enthusiasts. So it gives us a clear picture of their age range already, where they live, and what they are passionate about already. And their behaviors include their they use their app regularly, they attend marathons, and they are tech savvy and committed to running. So if you're someone that's committed to running, I jog every morning, and I actually use a Nike sneakers for jogging. So if you're someone that's committed to running, you know that okay, you want to be jogging, you want to be running consistently. Nike is targeting you because they know that you need shoes that are like okay, durable. You need shoes that are also stylish, comfortable for you while you are running. And yeah, the pain points, something durable, something stylish, and something that address. So and Nike addresses this need directly, and they don't just address the need directly with their product. Whenever they are communicating their messaging, if you've seen a lot of Nike ads, like especially in time past, if you see a lot of Nike commercials or Nike videos, Nike content, most of them, the majority of them focus on this segment. The majority of them talk about like okay, people running or people jogging with Nike shoes. Sure, they could go on a tangent and do something for branding, but most times when they want to start talking to like the consumers that they target the most, it's about jogging, it's about running because they know that this is their target audience. So another example, Jumia. I mean, I think one you could talk. We've spoken a lot about them, so Jumia is one we used to know back then. Yeah, and a lot of people still use Jumia to date. And yeah, this is Jumia, the 25 to 45 age range, urban professionals. They target both genders and focus on like individuals working in cities. And their behaviors is that they show up online frequently to shop. they prioritize mobile first experiences. And because of that, Jumia has to make sure that like, okay, their mobile platform is very, very friendly. And their pain points are price sensitivity and need for fast deliveries. And we all know how like, okay, yes, if we talk about Temu is people, the pain points that Temu is targeting, they are probably not even looking for delivery speed. They're just looking, okay, when it's ready, you should just come here. But with Jumia, you know that, okay, it's going to come here as fast as it can, no matter where you are. So these companies, they've broken down their own audience. They've broken out their own target audience. So for your question for Messi, SN, Nike, yes, Nike has a lot of people that they target, but this is one of their core target markets. And I'm talking strictly about their running shoes for this context. I mean, yes, they have clothes, they have a lot of fashion items, they have slides, but I'm talking about their running shoes in this context. So now let's talk about personas. Personas are fictional profiles that represent your ideal customers based on real data and insights. So it's important to emphasize that personas are not just made up. So they are grounded in research and data, helping you to create a more accurate representation of your target audience. So it's not like, okay, we wake up one day and we just make up personas. Are we following? So personas are like fictional profiles. And I feel like I might be speaking jargons a bit now, but like once we get to the next slide, you're going to understand um, you're going to understand more about personas. So now this is a persona. These are the components in a persona. So the name and photo has to be there. The demographics, like we said, has to be there. The goals and challenges also has to be there. Um, the goals and challenges, what are your personal aspirations, what obstacles do they face. You have to understand their goals and challenges so you can help you position your product or service as a solution. You also have to understand their behavior and channels. How do they behave? What channels do they use to consume information and interact with brands? Then the preferred content. What type of content do they find valuable and engaging? So these are things that you should know about your persona. So going back, like I said, before I go to the next slide, Um, the persona are fictional profiles that represent your ideal customers. So basically, you are building a profile. The people that you want to target, you're going to give the, your target audience a name, you're going to give target audience, you're going to give target audience a demographic, um, a goal, a challenge, their behaviors, their channels, and their preferred content. So let me know if you are following me with this persona stuff before I continue, or if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, please. Thank you very much, marvelous. So this is an example of a persona. So let's look at Spotify, and you're a student. Spotify has like a student plan that is like half, or even not even there's about half the normal subscription plan. If you don't know, for those that don't know, they have. And let's think about like who they are targeting. Let's give the person a name. Clara. Let's say they're targeting Clara. Clara's age is 20. Class psychology. She's a major in London. Um, Our goals is to discover new music and also share playlists. So this tells us about her interests and motivations on the platforms. She uses Instagram, TikTok, and the Spotify app as her channels. So Spotify now knows where to reach out with their marketing. And so you see Spotify ads coming up on Instagram, Spotify ads coming up on TikTok, and Spotify ads coming up when she's using the free, if she's using the free plan on Spotify. Spotify will keep advertising to her that you know you can actually subscribe to the student's plan at a discount. And what is her pain point? A limited budget for subscriptions. So as a student, I mean, she's not working yet. She doesn't have as much funds available to her as someone in the working industry, in the labor force would. So Spotify now has like, okay, offer discounts for students, which is like half the price. just so that to make sure that okay, they are able to subscribe for it and they've gained that person as a customer. To your question, Rachel, to your question, Rachel, you doesn't mean you can target a larger percentage. You can target a larger percentage of the market, but it doesn't make niching difficult. You still have to niche down. Real estate as a case study, not everyone is your target audience in real estate. Probably that'll be your assignment to go and build your real estate target persona. And you must have just one that will cater to a large percentage of the audience. We'll talk more about that towards the end of the class if there's a time. But just for you to understand, you're targeting. Okay, let's even do a real estate persona. Someone that you're targeting real estate. So first of all, you have to understand that real estate, first of all, is very, very wide and different. There are different products. Like when we're talking about Nike, I spoke only about who their running shoes are targeting. Now, talking about real estate, you have to understand that, okay, which part of real estate are you targeting? Are you targeting agents, people that want to become agents? Are you targeting people that want to buy houses, or people that want to buy land, or people that want to rent houses? Yes. So just off the top of my head now, you could be like, okay, this is a real estate persona. Well, somebody paying Grace. She's probably like 34 years old. Let's use Rachel. So her name is Rachel. She's probably 34 years old. What does she do for a living? She's an HR manager in one top company. She stays in Lagos and Nigeria. And what is her goal? To upgrade to a spacious four-bedroom home in a safe, friendly neighborhood. So this kind of person now, what you are selling to this person is a home in a family-friendly neighborhood. So if you are selling homes in family-friendly neighborhoods, there are certain personas that you are targeting. It doesn't mean that if you are selling land, it's the same person that's going to come and buy land. So it is what you are selling, the need that you are giving to people, the problem that you are solving, the value you are giving that actually informs the persona. So thank you very much. Yeah, so people that want to buy land, not everybody wants to buy land. Not everybody can afford to buy land. So the thing about persona is that it's not even just about people that want to buy, about people that can afford, people that can reach it. There's a lot of things. So we're talking about like, okay, the channels. If for Spotify students, for the students in Spotify now, let's say the student does not use Instagram, does not use TikTok, is not usually on the Spotify app. Let's even say the student doesn't even have a smartphone, and but the student wants to listen to music. There is no way Spotify can actually serve them. So it's not just about want. Every other thing falls into place. Every other thing falls into place. So someone said, what's pain points? Someone asked what's pain point. So a pain point is a specific problem. That's one of the best answers. A specific problem or a challenge that your customer is experiencing. So is a specific so think about like let's say you have a pain point now. What is a specific problem or challenge that you're experiencing? Something that causes frustration for you or something that is preventing you from reaching your goals. Let's talk about we mentioned incubate. Some people have mentioned people have mentioned incubator of a lot today and then this digital skill up Africa. So for you, for a lot of people that actually registered for this course, their pain point was okay, they want to learn about digital marketing, they want to understand digital marketing, they want to have a career in digital marketing. Uh, and what DSA has done is that they've solved that particular problem that, okay, you want to have a career in digital marketing, why don't we teach you about digital marketing? So that's the pain point, and you have solved the pain point. So you have to understand the pain point of your audience. The pain point the for Clara, the pain point for Clara is was limited budget for subscriptions. She can't be paying that high for subscriptions. And what Spotify has done in this case is that they've solved that problem for her. They've met that need. So now let's talk about Conga, another personal example. Conga. Let's look at Mary. Mary, she's 32 years old. She's a Lagos-based retailer, and she sources affordable inventory. She reaches customers online. So our goals are to source affordable inventory and reach customers online. So you know about her business needs. And then she uses WhatsApp, Facebook groups, and Conga app as her channels. So Conga knows like, okay, this is where she interacts and seeks out information. And our pain points include trust in online sellers and payment securities. So this is why seller emphasizes on secure transactions and seller verification. So Conga knows her pain point already. That okay, she doesn't trust a lot of online sellers and a lot of issues when it comes to payment. And Conga is like, okay, yeah, we have a platform that can actually solve this problem for you. Why don't you use it? By so doing, they've won Mary. And a lot of other people that actually use Conga, even to this day as their user, this is their demographic. Give me the brand. Just mention the brand that you want, and then we're going to do a persona. Or anybody just mention a brand, a popular brand, any either edible or anything, and we're going to be the persona in the class. And someone said Gigi Boat Indomie. Choose one. Let's do one. The one that appears the most is what I'm choosing. Okay, I think I'm seeing Indomie and Oraimo coming in more. Okay, Indomie, Indomie. We're going to go for Indomie now. So let's think about we've spoken about Indomie already in the past, where we spoke about how it targets families mostly, targeting the kids. But at the end of the day, it's not the kids that is going to pay. But Indomie also targets students. Am I right? So let's look at like a student that Indomie targets. Let's pick someone's name. So I'm going to pick Olusegun Oludimi Olusegun. So Olusegun, let's say Indomie start getting Olusegun now. And Olusegun is 21 years old. Olusegun is a computer science student in university and is based at Ibadan, Nigeria. So what is Olusegun's goal? Let's say to save money while managing tight class schedules. Some of the challenges of Olusegun. I mean, Olusegun is a student that is hustling, the guy. There's no time to cook. Like, you don't have time to cook. I don't also spending money to spending. Like, cannot be wasting money anyhow. I mean, we don't you all agree? So what is Olusegun going to do? He's going to go and buy Indomie, and just because I mean Indomie is affordable, it takes like 5, 10, 15 minutes to prepare. It takes like 5, 10, 15 minutes to prepare, and there you have it. Indomie is there to solve the problem. What was the pain point? Olusegun does not have time to cook food, proper food every day, but he still wants to eat something that would satisfy him, that that is not snacks. And what is Olusegun's preferred channel? Olusegun likes going on Instagram, probably likes TikToks also, and then you see Indomie popping up on Instagram and TikTok. Yes, a new brand can have a persona. You do your research, and that's where we are now. So if someone asks a question about channels for persona, and I'm going to actually attend to that later because we actually have like a section for it for channels or personas here. So data sources for personas, where to find your data. So if you want to create accurate personas, you have to gather data from various sources, which is answering the question that someone asked about like can a new brand have persona. So you have to find data from um, various sources. First thing you have to do is Google Analytics and Facebook Insights. So these tools provide valuable data about website traffic, user behavior, and social media engagement. It's not really important to do this yet. Somewhere in the course of the weeks, in the modules that we'll be taking along this few upcoming weeks, we're going to go deeper into Google Analytics. So I'm not going to touch that today, but just know that that is how we can actually get more information about your target audience. Then one thing you can do is customer surveys and interviews. You can directly ask your customers about their experiences, needs, and preferences. So you can ask them, you can do customer service, you can do customer interviews, you can just ask different people like, okay, what do you like, what do you need, what are your preferences, what's your experience like. You can even also do industry reports and social listening. So you can stay informed about the industry, like, okay, what trends is moving. Ah, um, Instagram was like, it seems video is taking off, short form videos is taking off now. Immediately let's launch reels. So that's like, okay, you're looking at the trends. People now, how people then had short attention spans. They didn't want like long form videos as YouTube was offering before. They now want short form videos. Even YouTube started including shorts. LinkedIn now is including short videos. That is a way of like, okay, knowing your target audience and like listening to them, staying true with like, okay, the trends that are going and the reports that are going. So I think one mistake people make when building their persona and building their target audience is that they make assumptions. So we make assumptions that okay, like one popular assumption that people can make sometimes are like the most popular social platform is Instagram, which you might be right. But then you now come back and say that in Africa, the most popular social media platform is Instagram. Why? Because you use Instagram and a lot of people in your circle use Instagram. But that doesn't mean there are a lot of people that still use Facebook, and if you probably go and check it, they start to probably tell you something different. They're like, okay, in Africa, um, more people use Facebook than Instagram, regardless of what you think. So we are we are prone to make assumptions when building our personas. We are prone to make assumptions when building our personas. No, you don't need a website in sourcing data digitally. You don't need a website. You don't need a website. So let's try not to make assumptions. You can think like, okay, what assumptions are you making about people? What assumptions are you making about like your customer? Okay, so maybe who you are selling to now. Start thinking now like, okay, maybe someone said this personality is tough. Okay. No, no, it's not tough. I'm going to still break it down more. Don't worry. Still going to break it down more. So just try not to make assumptions when building your persona. Some people have businesses and they've already built like assumptions about their customers, about the behavior of customers, thinking that their customers is going to do this thing. But at the end of the day, they find out that their customer is not doing this. They find out that okay, this person that they are targeting, thinking that this person is their customer, is probably not their customer. So I'm looking on for the okay. I'll probably go back, but like let's do something. Let's do a quick exercise. So just making I'm assuming on my targeted. So when you build a persona, yeah, a persona is just to give you an idea of who your customers are. A persona is when you've taken all the information of your target audience and you try to create one person. a fictional person from that persona. That is what your persona is. So we are going to do something now. Let's do an exercise. Everybody together, we're going to do it. And I'd like to see responses in the comment sections. I think this will help us get to. So give your persona a name, pick one demographic, pick a psychographic. In fact, I'm going to give a brand, and I'm going to give the persona a name. I'm going to pick the demographic of the persona. Um, yeah, I'm going to give fair money. So I'm sure we all know fair money. Fair money. So give a name of the person. I want to see like name, demographic, behavior of the person, what the person's goal is. Yes, please. Person has to give you. Yes, fair money, Abibola, fair money. Lovely said she doesn't like fair money. Why is that? Okay, Carlo tell you say, Carlo said, Emeka. Yes. If you want something easy, no, nah, you can't be getting things easy. But yeah, fair money. I'd like to see those that can do something with fair money. Someone said, Emeka Shegun, what else? So for those that we're just mentioning names. It's not only names now. I'm going to mention like okay, their demographic, where do they stay, what is the gender, how old are they, their psychography. So if you don't know much about fair money, you can do for Coke, Coca-Cola. Let me see what you do for Coca-Cola. And you can also do for Apple products. Let's see what you can do for Apple products. So you can see the example, use the examples that are here to just come up with something. Not just, okay, pay me 25 years old, female, urban, family demographic, 18 to 55. Okay. Okay, you can use your own brand if you have a brand. So Alfred, 22, male, you. Yes, I like what Shola sent. This is like really, really important, very, very perfect. 45, a male driver needs to parent. When you need to parent, obviously, you're going to go and borrow money from you are more prone to borrow money from fair money. You're more prone to borrow money from fair money. Picky West, yeah. Coca-Cola, Ade, 35. Emeka go to fund Emeka's business. Okay, thank you for that, Ngozi. Yeah, I think a lot of us are getting the hang of it already. I'm getting the hang of it already. So I know there's like limited space to type in the comment section. So probably when you're working on it on your own, you be able to get something more. So now this is like a messaging example now. Remember in the beginning of this session today, I spoke to us I spoke to us how the way we would speak to Gen Z, different from the way we would speak to millennials, is different from the way we would speak to the baby boomer generation. So look at like these two messages now. The generic ad simply states buy our shoes now. I mean, buy our shoes now is talking to everybody. Is that going to move you? Is this going to move any of you here? Is it going to move any of you here? But imagine if it was like Nike now targeting people that run and they say, hey Clara, ready to crush your 5K? Check out our new running kicks. I mean, Clara, she's running marathon, 5K marathon. She needs new sneakers to run, new running shoes. This is actually going to make her stop dead in her track. Like, okay, yeah, this might be something that I'll need because first of all, you're using her name, you are referencing her interest, and you're using a language that resonates with her. We're using a language that resonates with her. Okay, meet elder girls in 45 holes. Yes, I'm brother. Thank you very much for that. That's lovely. Yeah. So this is how like you run an ad. So now when you want to like if Femoni wants to run an ad, Femoni is not always going to say come and borrow money or something like that. Femoni is going to be like, okay, yeah, you need are you trying to like pay up, are you trying to start a business? Are you trying to pay for your tuition? Or are you trying to do you need to pay for that rent now and get loan quick? Like some people need that loan immediately, like on the go, urgently. And Femoni is going to talk to them in those places in that manner. So so that is like how you personalize the messaging for your audience. So okay. Let, let's do something. You can just type in chat box, just need a few people to say it. If you were a makeup brand and you're trying to target ladies to come and get like this, let's say a skincare product or something like that, so a beauty product, how would you talk to ladies to get you for them to get that beauty product? Just like drop some messages, like some messages on ad, like examples on the group. Or you want them to buy wig, want them to buy wig. So how would you do that? So like Indomie now, like if you just wanted to like talk to the person that is hustling, that guy, Indomie will be like, ah, Ish, Olusegun, are you busy? Don't worry, Indomie is here. You just feel your hustle, just hot delicious, ready in 5 minutes. Indomie is going to put that 5 minutes there for them in that messaging. Fair money. You are getting loans right from your phone. No queues, no paperwork. A lot of people don't want to go to the bank to go and get money and everything. Oh, Michael, no one is going to buy from that too. Just so you know. You don't necessarily have to use personalized names, but you can use personalized names. You can just even put random names in your heart. But you don't necessarily have to put names. Let's try examples that okay. You can't really customize. I like, hey besties, you want to look gorgeous and be the envy of your next party. Oh, I love this CBF digital hub, web design, social arts. I don't know what your name is, but the name that is in your hands is already looking like a pro. But yeah, I love that. Ah, Sarah, I love what you did. Sarah, sorry, Sarah, I love what you did. Want to look your best at Chalugo. Yes, I like that. I mean, when I look chic within 5 minutes, it's our easy to matte skincare. Okay, I get skincare products and still, I like this, but I don't really get what easy to matte is. I'm not sure if there's like a tired of that acne. Ah, this is nice. This is like very provocative joy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice like edit your hey babe, wanna look lush. Got wigs. This is nice. This is really interesting. Unless you can also do it, you can always do it with without names. You can just remove the names. Let me look at some of the examples and see if I can remove names for some like the person that is using the people that use Achaluku, you can use Achaluku. It's not a name for somebody. They already know what you mean. Some people are using babe, some people are using pretty, beautiful. So yes, you don't necessarily have to use names. So someone spoke about channels. Someone asked about channels. So aligning channels to personas. So another key aspect of this of effective marketing is aligning your channels to your personas. So it's about delivering the right message. So we've spoken about delivering the right message just right now. So the another thing that I delivering is at the right place. For example, now Instagram, Instagram stories. A lot of youth will be on Instagram, so it makes it an effective place to reach youth. So if your target is youth, all these interesting messages they have put, you put it on Instagram, you get them there. Or if you are trying to target like Nigerian retailers or people that sell online. I mean, we all know drop shipping, people that selling on their status and everything. We know that reaching them on WhatsApp is probably the best way to reach them. Or if they are professionals, people that are career oriented, that check their emails, that are like working 9 to 5, white collar jobs, blue collar jobs. You know that like you are sending them for their email. They're not going to send. So for like Gen Zs, now a lot of Gen Zs will probably be on TikTok. A lot of like older Gen Alphas will probably going to be on TikTok. You're not going to say that you want to target people between the age of 50 to 65 and you want to target them on TikTok. I mean, that's like, okay, you've done all the things right, you've used the right messaging, and then you're saying you're looking for them on TikTok. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. So you have to be very, very intentional about your channels also, the channels that you use. So Indomie, they know the channels they're using. They use TV ads because, like, I mean, a lot of people will be on TV and the families will be on TV watching them. Fair Money has like where they always put their ads in. You see their ads in like maybe different platforms like Truecaller and likes. You'd see child calling ads on Instagram. You'd see Pepsi, Coke on your feed. A lot of these brands, the reason why you're seeing them is because they are choosing the right channels for you. The brands that you are buying, they know the channels to come and meet you. So you have to like also think about the channels. I don't think we need to dwell much about it. I feel like this is self-explanatory in itself. Yeah. So I want to, this is a case study. Google and GT Bank partnership. So the partnership between Google and GT Bank, a Nigerian bank. So GT Bank developed an SME platform for Nigerian entrepreneurs, recognizing the importance of supporting small and medium-sized enterprises. So Google Ads were then targeted at small business owners, ensuring that the platform reached the audience. So, what was the result? A lot of people signed up for Google Ads into GT Bank's platform in Q1. So this is just a case study and this is just a scenario. Um, GT Bank is trying to target a lot of SME platforms for Nigerian entrepreneurs. It's trying to target a lot of Nigerian entrepreneurs to come and use their platform. They're going to run Google Ads, going to run Google Ads at this business, and they're going to get a platform. A lot of times, I want to try and target. We speak as I've heard about SCM. A lot of people are searching these days. If you know the kind of people that are your target audience, you know that they are searching. You know what they are searching for. Okay, for Incubator now you want to search for like they search for how to learn digital marketing, and before you know it, DSA Digital School of Africa is up there. This is the course. So once you know all these things, you can now like put them in place. So another thing to understand about personas is that the only true the only way to the major way to know like that your personas are right is to like when you start working and targeting them. So it's important to remember that the personas are not static. So you should continuously validate, test, and refine them based on like the new data and insights. That's like based on what is happening. You have to understand that like, people might not people the same way people were behaving yesterday might not be the same way people are behaving tomorrow. Or the way you've done your research that this is how people will behave and everything. You can find out that once you start selling, people are not going to behave like that. So you should always run A/B tests. Like if you are sending newsletters now, or you are sending information to your social media, run A/B testing for it. What does A/B testing mean? We'll probably talk about A/B testing much more later on. But what it means is that you're testing two things. So you're testing two different lines. So maybe the first one you're saying, Ajalu go, come and look pretty and get your new wig. Then you're checking that variation of it. Why don't you come get this and or someone said tired of acne, come get this beauty product. So those are two different messages, and you can test them. You can send one to a different segment, to half of the same segment, but like part of it. You can send the other one to another half of it, and you now look at it like, okay, which one is doing better? Which one does better in this sense? Which one does better in this scenario? And that way, you are able to know, okay, this one is working, this messaging is working, this is what your audience or your persona actually reacts to, and this is the kind of personas you have. Then you also keep gathering feedback. You keep asking your audience, keep asking your target people or audience, your customers for information. Is everything in their case just okay? Maybe in your personal MD 95, over like, oh, it's actually 20 to 30. So you adjust it like everything that you discover. And your personal, I hope you are following. I hope you are following. So traps. These are some you should to so over infect everyone is not your target audience. Everyone, if you say everyone is your target audience, then no one is your. If you say everyone is your target audience, then no one is your target audience. Then some of us ignore negative feedback. Negative feedback can be valuable, provides insights into areas where you can improve your product, service, or marketing. So if people come and tell you that they don't like the way you use Achalugo in your content, you can like think about it like, okay, probably you shouldn't use it again, or probably you should use it in this way. So you have to like you can't ignore negative feedback. Another thing is that some people let gut feeling override data. So intuition is very good, like using your intuition is very good. But it should not supersede like data. It should not supersede data. Like the results are there. And even if you don't want to do this, but what you don't want to do is working. You have to understand that, like, okay, you might have to leave what you don't want to do and focus on what you might have to leave what you want to do and focus on what you don't want to do that is already working because the data says that it is working. So you cannot say that because I feel. No, you can't say that. You can't say that I feel. So we'll be going on break soon, and I want you guys to do this during your break. Spend 3 minutes drafting a detailed persona of your choice. Just choose any brand of your choice and draft like a full detailed persona based on everything we've spoken about today. And then when we come back from the break, you just drop it in the comment section. So just to that, this is a mistake, not meant to be capstone project here, but just um, drop details.
My name is Ugochukwu Bunaya, and I signed up for content writing class. And so far, it has been
Okay, I think I'm good. Am I live? Hi everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, I think that's something. Before I continue, let me know if you're back. If you did the if you did the little exercise I gave, let me know. If you're back, just put I'm back in the comment box so that I can know like you're back. Yes, and I see that some of us did it already. I'm liking some of the responses I'm seeing. Yeah, liking some of the responses I'm seeing. I shot age 12 to 50, location, Lagos, gender, male, female, pinpoint, modesty, yes, interests, Muslim. Yeah. Personal example, TSTV, okay, name, dad, age 37, male, demographic, Lagos, interest, sports. Cool, so to watch sports where his family enjoys their own shows. I like that. Yeah, thank you. Let me read like one or two more before we could dive into what we have next. To love the 25 years old, the student of EU stays in Ikpa Road, EU. She needs cash and meet up for the payment of handout in order to write a final exam, lack of finance. So right, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad that like we're all getting the hang of it. Yes, I'm glad that we're all getting the hang of it. Yeah, no, it's not compulsory. You can write the exercise. You can just share the exercise here. I just want to make sure like we're actually being active. So now we're going into something more, something. as equally interesting as what we just spoke about. And we're talking about setting goals and from vision to victory. So, what are the goals that we're setting as marketers? Once you become a digital marketer, once you start working for brands, what are you going to do? Are you going to move with vibes or are you going to set goals? So, we're all about, so I want to take you on a journey from having a broad vision to achieving tangible victory. And like, if you have that journey, okay, what is the roadmap? Well defined goals. So, and it's not just going to be, it's not just about like having ideas. I'm going to learn how to structure them into actionable steps that lead to real results. So, why goals matter? So, why do you think, well, let me ask, like, why do you think setting goals matter for in digital marketing? I mean, well, according to digital marketing, I was surprised some people pop in and ask that, like, what class is this when we're talking about goals? So, why do you think setting goals matter? Why do you think setting goals matter in in digital marketing? I like what coding matter said. That was nice. To measure your achievements, yes, I like that, Deborah. Goals are for direction, Collins. Thank you. Praise to know your destination or end point. Yes, I love that. To ensure targets are met. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So think of why the goals matters in the first place. Why should we invest time and energy in setting them? So think of it like it this way. You're embarking on a trip. You need a destination. You need if you're like on the road, you're embarking on a trip. You need a destination in mind, or you just be driving aimlessly. I mean, you are driving, you're on the road, and you don't have anywhere you're going. You don't have a destination in mind. You're just driving aimlessly. You're wasting time and you're wasting fuel in this economy. Imagine. So goals provide that destination for our effort. So if we have goals, we know where we are aiming to. We are not just wasting our time. We're not just working aimlessly. We're not just wasting fuel in this economy. Yes. So without goals, you are just wishing. Without goals, what we have are often just wishes. So you're like, I wish we had more customers. I wish our social media was better. And wishes are what is what passive, goals are active. So goals take those vague desires, those like I wish I had more customers, our social media was better, and you can convert them into concrete plans. So instead of I wish we had more customers, a goal turns that into we will acquire 100 new customers in the next quarter through social media, something like that. Goals provide direction. So they tell us what we are trying to achieve, why it's important, and where we should focus our energy. Without that direction, we are like a sheep. We're like a sheep that's like, when a sheep is just drifting wherever the current takes them, there's something called a rudder in the ship that actually steers them in the right direction. So if you don't have your goals, like you're not going to be focused on like what's important. You're not going to focus on what you're trying to achieve. You're just going to move around aimlessly. And it's not just a theoretical concept. Studies have shown that businesses with clear goals, businesses with clear goals grow 30% faster. Businesses with clear goals grow 30% faster. And that's a powerful statistic that underscores the importance of goal setting. So I will talk about something some of us might have heard of before, which is the SMART framework. So if you read about the SMART framework before, wow, short time. So just comment about like the smart framework. If you know what the acronyms are and everything, let's hear it from you. So we have the smart framework. I want to see if we know what the acronyms for smart are. Smart is S for something. What is S for? What is M for? What is A for? What is R for? What is T for? Are any of us familiar with this framework? Okay, someone said specific. Yes, S for specific. Okay, S is specific, not simple, but yeah, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. So, SMART is an acronym, and each letters represent a crucial characteristic of a well-defined goal. So, think of it as a recipe for creating goals that work. So, for those of us that don't know it, this is it. So, S specific is S out of SMART. S for specific. S stands for specific. This means being clear and precise about what you want to achieve. So you need to answer the questions: who is involved, what do we want to accomplish, and if necessary, where will it happen? M is measurable. We need to be able to track our progress and know when we've reached our goal. So this involves using numbers, metrics, and KPIs. A is for attainable. Our goal should be challenging but still achievable. We want to stretch ourselves, but we don't want to set ourselves up. Yes, and that thing is very, very important, and I will talk about attainable. So you are stretching yourself, but you're not setting yourself up for failure. So your goals are like challenging but still achievable. While R is for relevant, so it should align with your business overall business strategy and objectives. It should contribute to the bigger picture. While T is for time bound, every goal needs a deadline. So is it when you say you want to achieve, you want to grow your users by like 30% when this month, because you can grow your users like 30%, it might just take you 5 years if that's your goal. Or you can say, okay, you want it to be in the next 3 months, this is what you want to achieve. So now let's explore like each of them. Let's explore each of them. So we can okay, let's try something. So list one marketing goal that you've seen that feels meaningless. So just take a moment, think of like okay, marketing goal, think of like those vague goals that you see, yeah, like something like increase brand awareness and there's no context. Or just jot down something. So it doesn't you don't have to put in the comment box, but just have something like that down in your mind. Yeah. So moving on to specific, the first element which is S. So just like this image that is there, we are aiming for what? A bullseye, a very precise target. So being specific is all about clarity, like I've spoken about earlier. It's all about answering the questions: who are we trying to reach? That's like our target audience, our persona. What exactly do we want them to do? So target one persona. We've spoken about it. We can't target everyone. It is crucial. It's tempting to try and appeal to everyone, but that usually results in appealing to no one effectively. So if you are selling to everyone, you are selling to no one. I have to understand this. So look at it, think of it like this. If you are selling shoes, you wouldn't use the same marketing campaign for athletes and for people who need dress shoes. So the way you would target people that need shoes for athletes for athletics is different from people that you target the way you target people that need shoes to go to the office. You have to tailor your message to each specific group. And that's why we've spoken about personas and fictional representations of our ideal customers. So you have to define what success looks like. Vague goals lead to vague results. If you increase brand awareness, increase engagement on social media, if you increase engagement on social media by just one like, I mean, you can say you've achieved your goal. So vague goals lead to vague results. So don't let your goals be vague. So you have to define exactly what you want. We need to have a clear picture of what we want to achieve. So instead of increase sales, you can say increase online sales by 15% in Q2. Avoid vague terms like increase awareness. Awareness is often a byproduct, not a goal itself. It's hard to measure and doesn't give us a clear direction. Instead, we could say increase brand mentions on social media by 20%. So avoid vague terms like increase awareness. So measurable. Okay, so we're moving to the next slide now. Measurable. Numbers tell the truth. I love numbers. I love working with numbers. And we're going to even work on more, talk more on data as we go through in the course of this class. So the next element is measurable. This is where we put numbers to our goals. Numbers tell the truth. They give us objective feedback on our progress. So first of all, you have to remember things when you are making your goals measurable. Like you have to choose metrics that matter. There are tons of metrics we could track, but we need to focus on the ones that truly reflect our success. So we can look at things like CTR. Okay, I don't know what CTR is yet, but that means click through rate, CPA, cost per acquisition, ROAS, return on ad spend. There's going to be a module for like us talking about metrics, and we're going to specify a lot of understand how all these metrics and what they mean. Yes. So those are metrics that matter. Then you also have to quantify your targets. So it's not just targeting different metrics and different goals. Some of the metrics that you might be familiar with is like, okay, followers. Like you want to increase, but you might not say the metric that matter because it does not like directly relate to sales. Increasing sales is the metric that matter. So let's say you say you want to increase sales now, it's not just increase sales. You're going to say that okay, I'm going to increase sales by this percentage, by 20 percentage in this quarter. By in Q2 now, so like in this quarter, you must increase your percentage by 20%. You must increase your percentage by 10%. So give you a specific number to aim for. So set up tracking before you launch. So it's critical. So you can't measure progress if you're not tracking data from the beginning. So make sure you have the necessary analytics tools in place. Like, and that's another thing we're going to face again, talking about data, talking about analytics. But you have to make sure that like, okay, whatever goal you want to achieve, you should be able to track them. You should be able to track them. So that is making it measurable. Then the next one is attainable. So this is about finding the right balance between ambition and realism. So like I think I said earlier, so you want to challenge yourself, but you don't want to also set yourself up for failure. So 80% of teams miss goals that are 200% stretch. So it tells us that like setting goals that are too ambitious can actually be demotivating and lead to failure. So it's better to achieve a slightly less ambitious goal than to completely miss a widely unrealistic one. So you have to also benchmark against past performance. So if you look at the performance previous results, last month you made 100 million naira in sales last month. This month your goal should be like okay, you want to increase that by 5% or increase that by 30%. So you're not going to say that if you want to achieve the same thing that you achieved in the past, you have to achieve better than you achieved in the past. Then you have to get buy-in from stakeholders. So if you're working in a team, you have to get your boss to agree, and you have to set your goals together with your boss, or set your goals together with your teammates, your team members, your superiors, or people that are under you, and also discuss any potential obstacles and ensure that you have all the resources and support needed. If you need budget, if you're like, boss, this goal that you want to achieve, or the budget is going to be 100 million naira. You have to like ask for the budget and try as much as possible to get what you need to be able to achieve your goals. So next is relevance. So relevance is all about ensuring that your goals contribute to the overall success of the business. So they shouldn't exist in a vacuum. They should be directly tied to the company's strategic objectives. So here's how to make your goals relevant now. So if sales are down, focus on conversions, not just clicks. So if the ultimate goal, like I mentioned, is to increase revenue or you want to increase profits, instead of saying that how many people clicked on this ad, a lot of people saw this ad, start thinking about like, okay, how many people actually bought something from this ad? How many people actually made a purchase from this ad? So that goal is relevant because you're now trying to increase the number of people that will buy from you, which now fits the bottom line. I mean, profit for either you, your business, or whatever company you're working for. Try to tie goals back to revenue, retention, or brand equity. So think about the big picture. How will achieving this goal help the company make more money, like I mentioned, or build a stronger brand, or connecting to your goals to these key areas will make them more meaningful. So, like now, currently for the company I work for, we have different ads running, and it's focused on two things. First of all, we're trying to like okay, get more customers, get more users, increase conversion 2x, 3x. And we're also looking at ads that will help us like improve our branding and build a stronger brand. Then avoid shiny object syndrome. Avoid avoid shiny object syndrome. Don't get distracted by the latest trends or focus on the goals that are truly important for your business, even if they are not the most exciting. So don't go after things that are trending. Like you're setting a goal to like grow your brand on TikTok because it's trending. But what if TikTok is not even like where your target audience is? Why are you wasting your time there because it's trending? No, 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 you don't do that. Or because threads came out recently and you're like, okay, you must be on threads and you must grow your brand on threads. No, don't do that. Then we move on to the final one. So can we all hear me? So I can have a couple of stop complaining about my sound. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Okay, other people can hear me clearly. All right then. I think for those that can't hear me, probably check network or something in your end. Okay. So the final one, time bound, which is the final element in the SMART framework. So it means setting a specific deadline for achieving your goals. So think about it. If you have a project with no deadline, you're likely to procrastinate and put it off. Oh. Like you probably never do it at all. But if you have a deadline, you're more likely to focus and get it done. So without deadlines, tasks drift. So it's a simple but profound truth. Without a deadline, there's no sense of urgency. Everybody is dragging their feet. Yes, they're like, yeah, there's no deadline now, indefinitely. I mean, yeah. So another thing is that try to use quarterly, monthly, and weekly milestones. This is something that's very essential for me. I really bother about like what we want to achieve this year. Like when I'm working with the team, or even my personal goals, I set myself, I'm not thinking about what I want to achieve this year. I'm thinking about like what do I want to achieve this quarter in the first place. In the next one, what do I want to achieve? Then I'm always tracking them like, okay, in weekly, what are we achieving? What can we improve weekly? What can we improve monthly? The end of the 3 months is up to the next set of goals I'm setting for the next 3 months again. So use quarterly, monthly, and weekly milestones. Break your goals down, like not like you can set goals for a year, but you also have to look at things every week, look at things every month, and look at things quarterly. Quarterly is very, very important. What I recommend. Create urgency and fewer maybe tomorrow moments. So when you have deadlines, they create urgencies for us. So instead of like procrastinating, like we mentioned, you are now on track. You are staying on track. So beyond smart goals, so beyond smart goals, there are a lot of other things. There are a couple of things we'll probably talk on as we get in the class. So we're talking about KPIs and OKRs. It's not today. KPIs is key performance indicator, while OKRs is objectives and key results. And these things are some things we use in marketing also to achieve our results. Um, Probably I can't remember which week exactly, but we're going to actually treat those things in a broader scope. So we won't go into detail yet in this session, but it's good to be aware of them. So another framework like SMART used for setting goals is called FAST and frequently discussed. F stands for frequently discussed, A stands for ambitious, S for specific, T for transparent. So frequently discussed, goals are regularly talked about and reviewed. So it means that you are regularly reviewing these goals. And ambitious, it means that the goals are challenging and they push you. Transparent, everybody knows what your target, everybody knows what you're trying to set. Also, specific and ambitious are things that we already like. I'm sure we already conversant with. Then common pitfalls for goal setting. What are the common pitfalls for goal setting? So sometimes a lot of people set 100-day goals. Like you're saying you want to achieve 100 things in 3 months. Which I know just one person. This is interesting because I was talking about goals on like just earlier today about on a separate conversation about like people setting goals for their life. But people also bring that mistake in career. Like you're setting 50 goals, 100 goals. Why? Why? What for? So you should try not to set a lot of goals. We should also try not to set goals that are vague. Try not to set goals that are vague. And also try not to mix up like the indicators. So the things that are like, okay, lagging, things that are leading. So try not to mix them up. Try to make sure that you are aware of what is working and what is not working. And also try not to ignore insights that you are getting from the goals that you are setting, from the data. Try not to ignore the qualitative insights. So this is an example of a poor and strong goal. So the poor example simply states increase social media engagement. What does increase mean? Which social media platform are we talking about? How will we measure engagement? So there are no specifics, no numbers, and no time frames. But look at the strong example. Increase Instagram posts engagement rate from 3% to 6% by July 31st. First of all, you go the specific Instagram post, measurable from 3% to 6%, attainable depending on the current performance. Attainable means depending on the current performance. Attainable is depending on the current performance. And it's time bound. You know that before July 31st, you must have achieved this goal that you want to achieve. So this is a very good example of setting a goal in marketing. Okay. Going to try and so your turn, you write this goal. So content, get more followers. So now your turn to so look at these goals. Because of our time, might not like really do a lot here, but look at all these vague goals. I want you all to rewrite them. Rewrite them as a specific goal. How do you rewrite as a specific goal? So we'll probably come back to this. Um, so match goals to personas. So remember we talked about personas earlier. So these are fictional representations of the ideal customers. So the key takeaway is that Different personas have different needs, pain points, and motivations. What resonates with one persona might not resonate with another. So therefore, your goals should be tailored to address the specific needs and desires of each persona. Avoid a generic one-size-fits-all approach. For example, if you have a persona that values convenience, a goal focused on improving the ease of online ordering might be very relevant. If another persona is driven by community, a goal centered around building an online forum could be more effective. So, case study on how Nike sets goals. So, let's look at a real world example of goal setting from a major brand, Nike. So, this case study demonstrates how a company can use specific goals and tie them to measurable outcomes. So, you can see that Nike is specific about their goals. So, achieve 25% increase in running shoe sales among 18 to 25 years old in Q3. A very good way to set your goals, and they tracked it by Google Analytics and Shopify Analytics. So macro versus layering goals. So macro versus micro goals. So you build on the idea of layering goals. Macro goals are big, overachieving objectives, while micro goals are smaller, more granular steps that contribute to achieving the macro goals. For example, an annual revenue target is a macro goal. Is a macro goal. It's a high level objective for the entire year. Weekly ad spend efficiency on the other hand is a micro goal. So it's a smaller, more tactical goal, and it contributes to you achieving the overall revenue target. So the key is to ensure alignment between these different levels of goals. Your micro goals should directly support your macro goals. If your ad spend efficiency is poor, it will be much harder to reach your annual revenue target. The another thing is accountability and ownership. So you have to be able to take accountability and ownership of the goal. You have to even first know who owns the goal. Like who is you have to assign clear responsibility. So who is responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who is informed. So when you have assigned responsibility for the goals and you've defined who is responsible, you've defined who is accountable, you defined who you consult and who is informed, then you check in regularly, you track progress weekly, so that to make sure that like okay everything stays in to make sure that you are still on track for the goal that you are setting. Then the next thing is tools for goal tracking. So you can use tracking your goals effectively is crucial. So we're now talking about some useful tools that will help you. Google Sheets is usually my go-to. I use Google Sheets a lot. Like I can use Google Sheets a lot back and forth to set goals and do a lot of tracking that I need to do to track like my progress in whatever campaign I'm working on. So there are also data studio dashboards that you can use. They are great for visualizing data and tracking progress against your metrics. Project management tools also help. So you have Asana, Trello. They can help you also. While automated alerts like Slack notifications can also be set up to help you achieve your goals. So I'm going to give room for questions. Um, So 30 minutes to write one smart goal for your campaign. So just write a smart goal for your campaign. You can do this exercise while you're asking for questions. So write a smart goal. I'd like to see. So now, you guys can ask your question. You can ask your questions. So the slides will be shared with you. So write one smart goal. Mm, so I want to share another slide. Um, I want to share another slide. So ask a question, and yeah, I think I love the responses I'm seeing. Get a 5% increase on followers on Instagram. Yeah, send one email weekly. 30% of prospect message from you. Some of you are getting it, but some of you still need to like, okay, structure it better. But I like the idea that we are all going along. Um, so you can screenshot this assignment till next week. So today is our last day for this week. So till Monday, and so B would be the one coming up. And Monday, I'm going to start moving into websites and UI UX. So we'll talk about websites next week and Toby's one everyone's gonna take you off. But from now to then, you guys should work on this assignment. So I'm going to keep the screen on for a while I'm screenshotting it. No, so Rebecca, you write your goals down in Google Sheets. Um, while the project management is just for you to track your tasks, and Slack is for like reminders and messages. So I didn't say like it's not all the tools that I think to write your goals down. It's all those tools that help you to like effectively achieve your goals. So this assignment I'm giving is not to be submitted. Oh. It's just for you to do as like a take home. Just exercise, just work on it yourself. So the first one, choose your business and set smart goals. So we've spoken about goals already today. So just choose your business and set smart goals. So we talk about digital channels. So you pick and justify, pick and justify three digital channels. So from what Toby spoke to you about on Tuesday, so choose three digital channels that you want to use for your brand, for the business you've chosen. This same business you've chosen. Set your set your goals, then pick two different channels and tell us why you are choosing to pick these channels that you are picking. Then finally create a one buyer persona for the business. So just screenshot it. Yes, when you want to increase quality lead generations, it is vague because you have to first add Rachel to answer your question. You have to add how do you know these leads are quality? So that is one of the things you have to look out for. So I know like a lot of times a lot of organizations battle with this, but the way to approach this is that what do you define when you define your persona, what you define as a quality lead is who you define as a persona. So you look at your metrics that okay, increase quality lead generation. You now say that by making sure that the leads that you are getting are more into this age bracket that you want. Maybe are more between 25 to 25 to 30 years age of range. You specify the kind of leads that you can consider as quality. Because anything can be quality. You can be sales, you just say you send them quality leads and they don't get it. So this is the first question. Someone tell the first question. Yes, Fisayo, that is good, very, very good. Increase Instagram followers by 5% before 31st of May. Increase Instagram followers by at least 10% by June 10. Praise, the assignment is not going to be submitted. Please, nobody should submit assignment. It's just for you to do as an exercise. So, um, just as an exercise. So any more work people. Assignments and emails. To 3 acts before the year runs out. That's good, but I mean, the year is too long. Why not this quarter? Like I said, I don't like planning for the year because it's too long. We're procrastinating to December. I don't get a question. Someone says second, someone so this is the second one. Share, okay, yeah, social media account for your brand. That's a specific good because it means you don't have any social media account yet, so you just want to create it. Yeah. So the DSA team, the slides is with the DSA team. For those of you that want the slides, so they will send it to you guys in due time. Most of us have actually understood what setting a goal is and how to understanding how to build a persona, how to understand your target audience, how to build a target audience.
Hi there, my name is Praise Oladipo and I'm in the boot camp. Thank you, Incubator. Hi there, my name is Praise Oladipo and I'm in the content and copywriting class. It has been amazing so far.